George Lucas. I just want to say I'm your #1 fan, and I thought Episode 3 was one of your best movies ever. And my friend has an illegal copy of it. He told me to come over and watch it with him, but I told him I wouldn't have any part. What should I do? I'm trying to stand strong.
I consider you to be a good friend. Obviously, you should report your friend to the FBI and have him prosecuted. After spending 5 years in a maximum security federal penitentiary, he may not find stealing from me so enjoyable. Everyone who has a Star Wars bootleg DVD or VHS tape should turn themselves into the FBI and plead guilty to whatever they charge you with. You owe me that much for stealing so much from me over the years.
So how do I explain Supershadow.com? I guess you have to go back to a time when the internet was basically the Wild West. Back when, in order to get your website found, all you had to do was make sure you had the perfect searchable keyword. Whereas now, the internet is a voice for everyone. Back then, it was only the voice for a few, and the rest of us were just surfing everyone else's voice. Keep in mind that this was before even blogging had totally exploded. In any case, I wasn't a blogger, I was just a surfer. I was on the internet looking for any piece of Star Wars news I could find. And that was how I found Supershadow. I'll admit we are cutting it pretty close on this one, as most of his content, including what you'll see here, is from the early aughts. That said, the earliest captures of his website on the Wayback Machine come from 1999, so technically I'm going to say it still counts. So who was Supershadow? Most people dismiss him as an internet troll. Presumably, his website was created as a parody of Star Wars fans, more or less. According to himself, he has the real inside scoop. Most of it was so crazy and out there, you couldn't possibly take him seriously. Let's take a second to take a look at what Supershadow said about himself on the website.
Legendary, iconic, Supershadow, ultra infinite mega genius. As you would expect, all information about the world-famous and legendary Supershadow is above top secret, classified at the highest level. Mysteriously and very enigmatically, nothing is known about Supershadow except that SS is very close personal friends with George Lucas. Heralded by fans as the most important, influential, and ingenious Star Wars expert in all of history, Supershadow is completely revolutionizing the way Star Wars movies are created. Lucas has acknowledged many times in public that Supershadow is the best thing that ever happened to Star Wars. Supershadow was the first and only Star Wars Mega Scholar to reveal the hidden secret that George Lucas basically made the exact same Star Wars movie 7 consecutive times in a row. Currently, Supershadow is employed by Lucasfilm as a consultant related to future Star Wars and Indiana Jones projects. Supershadow.com has by far the most daily visitors and is the most popular Star Wars website of all time. In history, ever. By rapidly expanding margin.
Was it all fabricated? Yes. Did he solicit money from innocent people for exclusive access to quote-unquote George Lucas himself? Probably yes. But on the same token, the sheer amount of what he posted seems like he was more than just a troll, and more of a delusional fanboy. Even after he would post a page, he would keep adding and adding, week after week, year after year. Take this example, which he refers to as his top secret Star Wars formula. This is where you would go to really understand the success behind Star Wars. So this page started simple enough sometime in 2001 with about 10 items. Short and sweet, simple. But now fast forward to 2013 and check it out. Yep, just 140 easy steps to follow, and you are well on the way to making the next great successful Star Wars franchise. And how could you go wrong with tips like good guy dies, bad guy dies, immense, nearly unlimited wealth, no wealth, characters are shocked electrically, heroes wear camouflage, escape pods, incredibly cute, lovable, and adorable multi-million-dollar US toy merchandising genius ideas. I have to say, the best part of the website is the Lucas interview. This is the part of the site where people would write in and ask George Lucas questions, and quote-unquote George Lucas would respond.
So I'm going to keep this short. Who exactly is Supershadow, and how did you meet? Thanks a lot.
Well, I saw one of Supershadow's extraterrestrial film documentaries, and I was so fascinated with his alien theories that I contacted him for more detailed information. We quickly became friends, and the result was Supershadow.com. Meeting Shadow was the most fortuitous moment of my entire life.
Hey, George. Pray for me, because I'm getting ready for a big move across the country, and I will miss my friends very much. They are the best friends I've ever had, and I will miss them and love them so much. May the Force be with you, Brett.
Brett, you are such an awesome person. I will pray for you each day until you have safely made your trip across the nation. Prayer works. It's been proven by science that prayers deliver most of what you ask for. Obviously, prayer works for me because I get everything I pray for. Of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm a multi-billionaire.
Dear Mr. Lucas, did Anakin have a middle name? If so, what was it?
Anakin's middle name is Dulces.
George Lucas, I hate Jar Jar Binks. I don't care if he's the most popular with grade school kids and housewives. And that is coming from a true Star Wars fan. Also, what kind of charity work do you do?
What does your opinion of Jar Jar matter to me? He's never going to go away. He is by far the best character I have ever created.
The question is, why did people even know this guy existed? Much less take him seriously, which some people actually did. His made-up Star Wars lore started showing up all over the internet for a while, especially in the mid-2000s. Anyone else remember Darth Scars with a Z? See, the success of Supershadow is that he was always one step ahead of wherever our curiosity led us. Sure, you wanted spoilers to episodes 1, 2, and 3, and that's why you went to his site. But how about getting the scoop on episodes 7, 8, and 9? This was way back in the early 2000s. He didn't just have synopses for the films, he had trailer breakdowns for these movies that didn't even exist yet.
The Sith Lords were too weak to control the secrets of the dark side.
I will reveal the truth to you now, Spiden. The path of evil always ends in self-destruction.
Ultimately, Supershadow.com became a pretty cynical place. Supershadow himself started soliciting money from people who went to his website for quote-unquote exclusive content that he claimed was real, which of course it wasn't. However, when I look back at the early days of Supershadow.com, I genuinely get the impression he's just someone who's living out a daydream on the internet. I think that's something that all Star Wars fans can at least somewhat relate to. And ultimately, he kind of has the last laugh, because there is, in fact, an Episode 7. And even some of the particulars he actually accidentally seems to have gotten right. In his summary for Episode 7, he explains that the adversaries of the story are Dark Jedi who are seeking to re-establish the horrific legacy of Darth Vader. They wore more advanced-looking versions of Darth Vader's black mask, helmet, and body armor in honor of their fallen hero. Sound familiar? If you've never checked out Supershadow's website before, even though it's not active now, you can always check it out on the Wayback Machine. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely worth it for a laugh. And it is kind of interesting just to see what people were saying back at the time and just see how crazy it can get. So whether you check it out or you don't, always remember the Force will be with you. always.